Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we were being pursued by the likes of Varius Imperator, and out of nowhere, he has Sheikh Shalavan, I believe, assisting him. Yes. Can you believe it? No, I can't either, but yeah, apparently he was just right behind him before when Marius joined Varius in their endeavors to eliminate us, but I have separated the two of them, thankfully enough, and now I have Varius by himself. So this should be a lot easier to eliminate. Yes. Shall we just say a lot easier? Shall I say 1,000 times easier? Yes. Many, many days and years and months and all kinds of manner of times easier because, well, there's only 40 of them in actual fact, and we have 103, which is going to be an absolute steamroll, but it does give me an opportunity to try out more of my throwing weapons, of course. Oh yes, and also we only have 61 archers, because we don't have any more Lemonites yet, because they are all in the garrison back at Avendor or wherever. And yes, I decided mainly to leave them there for critical mass, of course. Yes, critical mass. I did say that in a previous episode, but a couple of you were wondering. I'm actually unsure why, but whatever the case. Let's see what we can do. Come on now. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Nice hit from that guy. Yes, come on now. Maybe we can deal some damage. Ah. Oh, we are actually dealing some damage, but it's not particularly getting us many kills, unfortunately enough. Can I do damage to this guy? Maybe. Maybe I can go... Oh, okay. Maybe. Oh, well, there's a little bit of damage to his shield. And then he was taken out, of course, by a Shadow Legion Centurion. Well, what can we expect? Shadow Legion units, very, very good, of course. Marionist units, not so much, but the Centurions, they definitely don't mess around. They are dealing significant damage to everyone that they come into contact with, of course. And there it is, only one enemy remains. We did take 3 wounded, but it really doesn't matter, does it? No, really does not matter at all. Now, yes, this is indeed the problem. Marius is now in this area, and so he's probably going to be plaguing us throughout the entire time that we are here, because of course we are attempting to do our very best and, well, hopefully take some stuff? Yeah, that would be kind of nice. Now, one of you did actually state that you can take these guys prisoner, and then if this message comes up that they almost like our kingdom, those kinds of things, if they come up, then you take them prisoner, and then you speak to them, then they have a higher chance of actually joining your kingdom right then and there. But as he only has 8 relation with us, and I would still like to get more honor, I'm going to let this guy go, at least for now. And we're going to see what we can do later down the line. Of course, we are going to get Adiz a little bit of a heavy saber there. And why? Why is he swapping out his dragon's tooth for a heavy saber? Are you serious? Okay, so apparently that is happening. No idea why. No idea why. Yeah, now bear in mind that Sarah the Fox is still with us, but yet she is not wanting to upgrade herself. Apparently she has the best weapons known to man. Yes, I did not forget to actually click on the button, it's just the fact that she apparently has better gear. I don't believe this somehow, but apparently she needs a shield. She needs a better one-handed weapon. I mean, I can give her this, but she has no strength. So that is in fact the problem. Adiz, why is he switching out his dragon's tooth? I could not tell you. I really have no idea. But yes, everything else requires more strength, and that's exactly the reason why Sarah isn't actually taking anything from our inventory. So I thought I'd just clear that up a little bit. Now, a couple of Ravenstone Highlanders. Oh, that's pretty nice, I gotta say. Okay. So yes, as you can see, I actually swung around here because, well, I didn't really want to deal with Marius. So I swung around all the way like that. He, thankfully, did not see us because it is nighttime. Exactly the reason. So, okay, now, Callandane Castle, as we know, is a siege tower. Ooh, yes, they're just there. And apparently I can continue building the siege tower. That is actually kind of a little bit weird, but I guess we're going to do it nevertheless. Ooh, come on now, come on. Can we get it done? We can't get it done. It said 3 hours, did it not? Did it not say 3 hours? I'm pretty sure it said 3 hours, but if it doesn't, then I guess we're just going to have to... Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm not particularly upset about this then, because I was a little bit irritated that we would have to fight Marius Imperator with his grand total of 400 or so units. Definitely would not have been a very pleasant time. But, thankfully enough, they only have 271, which is actually quite the amazing coincidence, because we have 217. So if you just if you just swip around the two numbers, 7 and 1, then you get exactly the same number. That's pretty cool. But, okay, we need to be very, very careful here because our tea and biscuit saviors must be alive. Okay, now, let's get this ready. Let us get it ready. Victory awaits us. Okay, now, the one thing I would like to do is eliminate these cavalry if I can. Maybe do some damage, at least a little bit to them. I'm going to try and use my throwing weapon somewhat. Okay, that's not working. Maybe? No? Nope, that's not working. Okay. Apparently, I am the worst at throwing weapons. Yes, I'm probably just going to leave that to the better people. Yeah, I have no idea. I guess going into first person would really make a huge difference in that regard, but I don't know. I mean, I personally really do not like riding a horse in first person. I feel like riding a horse in first person is incredibly difficult, and yeah, it kind of gives me a little bit of a weird nausea feeling, amazingly enough. I'm actually unsure why that is, but I don't know. Maybe it's the field of view or something like that, and maybe it's just a little bit too narrow for my liking, but, well, whatever the case, I think we're actually going to be fine here because our crossbowmen are absolutely destroying everyone, and I didn't even put them in ranks. Yeah, that was a huge oversight on my part, but, well, we can, of course, use the ranks for the next wave of reinforcements that are coming in here with a huge amount of, wow, Empire gladiators. Okay, there we go. Come on now. There we go. Now maybe we can do a little bit more damage here. Yes, come on. I would like to get at least 20 kills in this particular bout because I'd like to get Bertold another level. Believe it or not, I would still like him to get a couple of levels, even though he is very highly leveled right now. I would still like to get him some skills and various other attribute boosts and things like that, but, well, I guess it doesn't particularly matter so much because, well, we already have an incredible stat line, so nothing really to... Oh my! Now that was damage. That was damage right there. I wouldn't be surprised if that guy's name is Mr. Damage, because really, that was pretty impressive, I have to say. Okay, so let's go to first person here. I know I'm not particularly a fan of it unless I am shooting on some sort of ladder. Oh, there we go. We hit him in the chest, and then when he was taken out by one of our crossbowmen, exactly what we want to see. And now Sarah the Fox was eliminated by one of their recruits. Well, I suppose that's just the way it is, but yes, unfortunately, it seems she is being held back by her strength, because her strength is only 11 right now, and if she had 12, then we would very easily be able to get her some new gear, I guess. So that would be a really nice idea, but unfortunately, of course, strength requirements and everything, that is going to prevent us from doing anything for quite some time with her, but, well, we'll just see what happens with time. We've taken a lot more damage than I anticipated as well, but I suppose no biscuits, no glory, or something along those lines. Yes, exactly. Now, let us see if I can eliminate this guy. Come on, he's going to give a lot of experience. Yes, there we are. Empire Knights, of course. And, oh no, Radiant Cross Plague Wardens? I've never seen those before. We have actually eliminated a couple of them already in this battle, but I haven't actually seen what they're about, or what kind of stats they have, or what kind of weapons they use. They actually seem to be rather rare, because I have never come across them before, as far as I'm aware anyway. But, there it is. Only 3 enemies remain in this particular bout, but I think we should be absolutely fine, because, well, we outnumber them so incredibly, but of course, the main reason why we want to be victorious here is for the victory biscuits. I mean, really, how can you say no to them? How can you? No, there's no possible way. And of course, you know what's amazing? You can technically say no if there were a brand of biscuits called defeat. You can say no to that if you have in your mind, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Yes, I'm going to win and attain victory and snack on those victory biscuits, but no. With defeat, sometimes it's just not possible, but sometimes it is, and it actually does spur you on, because those defeat biscuits, if they exist, they do not taste very good. No, they do not. So, let's see here. What can we do? Well, that's the thing. They already have a good positioning on us, so I guess we'll just have to use this hill here. Maybe we're going to get our cavalry and our infantry at the front, and the crossbowmen around the back here. We're going to get some ranks going on too. Let's tell them to stand closer once. And Then we'll see what the enemy decides. Oh, they just appear to be standing there. Oh, okay, well, if they're going to do that, we're just going to charge in then. We have 27 cavalry and a couple of infantry units. Of course, I'm going to take our tea and biscuit savior and put him all the way over there. There we are. Now let's get our crossbowmen up here as well. We definitely need we need their assistance. That is for sure. Ah, the Radiant Cross Plague Wardens are actually crossbowmen? Wow, that is pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen those guys before. That is pretty amazing. But I don't even know how good they are. They don't seem that good, but they are eliminating many of our units as I say that, so I guess they might actually be better than I thought. They do have these huge mallet-like clubs, which is actually pretty menacing, but they don't seem to be doing that much with them. They are knocking our units unconscious, but that's all they can do. I suppose that's all they can do. They can just knock people unconscious and not actually kill them or anything. So, must be doing all blunt damage, but they are dealing so much damage, as you can see. I mean, look at that. They've, I think, eliminated more units than a Heretic Magnus would. That actually seems pretty impressive. Maybe we'll have to see if we can rescue some of those from somewhere else, but I'm actually unsure who has these. Who actually uses these unique units? Must be one of the vassals, of course, but I actually don't know who. Well, we might have to find out after this. Maybe we can try and persuade one of them to join us. I'm always hopeful that I'll be able to try and persuade a vassal when they have about 15 to 20 relation with us. That's primarily the reason why I'm going to be letting most of these guys go, because, well, apart from Agathon, of course, which I would love to be able to recruit because he is just amazing. He is really a very good vassal. I'd like to be able to get him, but that's mainly the reason why I'm declining to try the prisoner recruiting tactic, because, of course, I do want to make sure that we have a good amount of relation with them before we start, because if they don't, then they're going to be constantly hungry for fiefs and things like that, so probably not a good idea to go for it immediately, but you never know. It depends on their personality as well. Some of them actually have really good personalities and you don't have to worry about them too much, but there it is anyway. We have succeeded, where many others have failed, to eliminate Lord Alice and Justice Dux, apparently. Okay, so this guy has 10. He almost, he's pretty close to 15, so I'm going to let him go. It's not too bad, and this guy is also with a pretty good personality, but I guess I'll just let him go. Okay, so now, this is where it gets rather fun and amusing. We actually do have 276 maximum company size, which I have to admit is pretty impressive. I actually did not think I had anywhere near that, but apparently the latest fights we've been doing has gained us a good amount of renown, which I have to say is just very impressive overall. So, okay, that's pretty nice. Let's get some units leveled up here, and I think that is it. Yeah, there we go. So now let's capture any of the enemies that we can. Now, let's take a look here. Okay, so this Legion helm could be worn by Sarah the Fox, but again, she has a better helm, so kind of pointless. This Jatu Heavy Saber, let's see whether she takes it. There we go. She's now taking a couple of things there. That's actually pretty good to see, and she does have a pretty nice horse too. Okay, so that's cool. Now, is there anything here that they lost that I really do not want them to lose? For example, Adiz, giving up Dragon's Tooth. Really? Did he really do that? Yes, he did. I cannot fathom the disappointment that is welling deep within me right now because of that fellow and his decision-making. Absolutely awful. But we do have Marius Imperator here. How long do I have left? Oh, okay, so now it's ready for the assault. I knew that that would be the case because literally we had 3 hours, and I'm pretty sure they kind of screwed us over right there, because they engaged us at the exact same moment when we built the siege tower. I'm pretty sure that's how it went, but there's no proof, is there? There's no proof whatsoever. Well, technically I do have proof because it's on video, but still, I'm pretty sure there was some underhanded tactics going on there with the game itself, actually attempting to do some jiggery pokery. But okay. Yes, we'll see. We'll see if that happens again, but yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical about that, I gotta say. But nevertheless, let's get our units into a nice position here. We do want to make sure that our archers are going to deal as much damage as possible. This is actually a pretty nice castle, as far as I'm aware. The layout isn't too difficult, and it does eliminate many of the problems that you would otherwise face due to ranged, because they do have an archer nest, but it's not particularly good as far as I'm aware, but maybe it's actually a lot better than I think. And we're going to see it come into effect when we get up there. That would probably be a really bad thing, but let's just actually move our crossbowmen. What are you doing? Are you really going to run over there? Yes, they are. They are really going to run over there. I'm very surprised. I am incredibly surprised. I'm going to hold fire here because I really... Are they really going to just do that? Okay, so I'm just going to tell them to charge in just so that they can actually come back here. Or not. Do you see this? Okay. Now, this is nothing to do with me whatsoever. I have done everything I can to prevent them from running over there. I've even charged them in to try and get them to automatically come back, but... Nope. They're walking off the edge of the map. Yes. They're walking off the edge of the map and running all the way to the edge of it. Now, that makes me want to very, very easily retreat. I mean, do you see this? Look at that. They're going all the way over there and literally just abandoning the siege. And they are, as you can see by the battle map, if I don't get skewered in the meantime, they are all just standing at the edge. Do you see that? Look at that. They're all just standing at the edge. It's absolutely terrible. Maybe I can tell them to hold position like this? Yeah, that's working. Okay, so that's working. No idea why that is. That is very janky, I have to say. That is very janky, because I've seen that once before, and you guys accuse me of actually ordering them wrong, which I gotta say is kind of amusing, considering you can blatantly see that I'm actually doing it exactly the same way I've done thousands of sieges before. So, there is that to take into account, but now we have the utter terribleness that is these crossbowmen. I guess this is the comedy episode, because literally this has to be on some form of comedy show, comedy sketch show, because these guys are literally taking the mickey. They are not actually serious, are they? I mean, look at this. This guy's actually literally going through the water and they're all just jumping off the cliff and... Okay, I think I know what needs to be done here. I definitely know what needs to be done here, and that is I'm going to attempt a retreat. Because, yes, even though I'm going to be losing a little bit of renown and some honor and things, I personally feel like I do not want to continue that siege. I really don't want to continue that siege. That was just utterly pitiful. And I gotta say that that is highly disappointing as well. I had no idea how our crossbowmen were so dumb. Really. They were so incredibly stupid. I just have no idea, but... That's just what happens, isn't it? That's just what happens every now and again. I should have tried the battle map a little bit earlier, granted, yes. No problem there. I do admit that, but in general, that should not even happen to begin with. So, I guess, with that rather sour note, I'm going to be ending this episode off here. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.